Hey guys, it's Marcus from Team Shock the World, and I'm coming at you guys with my Constellar deck profile. I just went undefeated at locals with this again for second or third time. Um, it's fairly well, very good against Dragon matchup. Ran this at regionals a couple weeks ago, went 6-3. I don't know. I didn't draw significant as I do at locals. I don't know. Just bad matchups versus 5 dragon decks at regionals, and I only verse usually 1 or 2 at locals. But here's the deck. 3 Sheraton. He's your Stratos. He's the searcher of the deck. Like, for those of you who don't play him, like, you're missing out. He's free Sombre late game, and with cost, you can make cost a level 3 or make him a level 4, so even his level is not too big of a problem normally. And then next you got your 3 costs. He allows you to go into 3, 4s, or 5s. Normally 4s or 5s, but you know. He's pretty good. And he's searchable off tanky. 3 Pollux. He's your Castor. His effects lingering, so it's pretty freaking good because it even if he gets bottomless or something, its effect lasts. So it's really good, especially if you have like Algiddy or something in hand. You normal him and they'll like try to stop him, and when they do, like, you're completely fine with it because you're just gonna go Algiddy into another Exceed. And then there's the 3 Algiddy or Algiddy, whatever people call him. He's not as good as Pollux because he has the special and you can't wait to use his effect. It's not lingering. So, but I mean, it usually doesn't get Veilered. It's more so max C, and it's usually a 1 for 2 because they want me to overlay. But depending on the position I'm in, so. 3 Sombre. This is like the no shit. You search it out with you search it out with this guy all the time. Your Sheraton, and he just gets plays for days. The 1 of T King. Like obvious light monster, that's G. 1 of Honest, you know, you're running complete light deck. And the 1 of Barracks, you run 2 tanky, and just searches for the other one, go into your cost. And those games where you have like no monsters in hand, a ton of spells and traps, but you can like get a tanky or just him in hand, really good because he gets you into multiple costs normally because 2 tankies. So, and there's the 2 tankies. Great with cost and bear, and he's also really good with your Omega because Omega's a beast warrior, so he gains the attack on that, which 2500 is always nice. And then 3 MST because rapes Dragon's Ravine in the Dragon matchup, and it just gets rid of back row. Like, I know you have Omega, but you know, it's better you could get into him, and against Fire Fist it stops the tankies and all their continuous spells and traps. 1 of Dark Hole. I don't understand why people don't play this. Like, it's too good not to play. It's a 1 of card that's potentially a -4 or 5 for your opponent depending on how you play the deck, I guess. 1 of Forbidden Lance, you know, play through tough plays, just lets you do more, I guess. Just don't worry about back row. And the 1 of Reinforcements for the Pollux, which is kind of obvious. Then traps, 1 Torrential, 1 Bottomless. I play Mirror Force as a 1 of because I am maining Imperial Iron Wall for dragons because I do not like dragons, and I always side them out game 2 against Raud. That's why I have some very generic side also. 1 of Warning, obvious. 1 of Call. This, I'll show you a combo with this in a little bit, but Call is just really good. 1 of Sixth Sense. This kind of goes with Call, like you mill, then you know you can call things back, or you can Sombre after you mill. So yeah, 1 of Compulse, it's only at 1, so most of these are kind of obvious, and plus Sixth Sense is just way too good. Like, a lot of people don't play him, but 2 Imperial, like I said, for dragons. Yeah, I hate the deck. 2 Vanities, Emptiness. This is really good because you could bounce it back with Pallades if you already have one on the field, and it stops dragon plays, and like it's generically good against any deck. It's somewhat becoming a staple trap card now. And then finally 3 Fiendish because you recycle this guy with your Pallades constantly, and it's just way too good. Like, makes Valor almost non-essential or not needed whatsoever. I don't know, I really like it. But yeah, that's the main deck. Extra 1 Zen mains, only level 3 I run, and it's because when you have a dead Sheraton and you don't want to go level 4 and he's just something to sit on. 1 Star Liege, he's awesome because I love when my opponent has 2 monsters, I put one down to 0 attack and I attack the other one, and they're stuck with a dead monster, and if they can find a way over this, then, you know, I'm drawing the card, so it's almost never a minus. So it's nice. It gets a lot of work done. 1 Abyss Dweller, obvious reasons. Graveyard, you know, Mermail, anything. Cowboy, that final push for game, wins so many times, 2 or 3 times today, just alone. So Crazy Box, this is for when people try to skill drain me, or when they go light imprisoning and I just need to sit on something so I can get into my NSTs, or, you know, game 2 Dust Tornadoes and stuff. So yeah, and plus if Spellbooks ever became big, you know, Eradicator and stuff. 1 Shark Fortress pushes for the OTKs. Number 16 Volcasaurus. I love it when I verse dragons and they're so afraid of Crimson Blader against people, and they'll leave a blaster on board, and, you know, first turn you go into this, burn their blaster, and then overlay with the Gaia Charger and swing for 26, and that's 54 damage right off the bat, and like you already have your opponent in a bad position. 1 Tyrus, this is the one unexpected card people see from me all the time. Like, instead of going to Pallades, if they have like back row, I'll go into, like, they allow me to because they think they can get away with the Bottomless or a, I don't know, Bottomless, Torrential, something like that. But I'll go into Tyrus, and they're like, oh, okay, and then I'll attack. Not only will I take out a monster, but then I pop one of that back row as well. That usually goes through twice because he usually doesn't die when he's on board. The Gaia Charger, you know, obvious over any of my rank 5s or after I Pallades. Just, you know, it could go over M7 even, so it just, you know, pushes for game, late game. That piercing damage is always nice. Persepi, Constellar Persepi. I don't go into him often. He's more so if I just need to get over something. Like, a lot of people bring out 3k beaters, and they're like, you know, Constellars can't get over that if they can protect it. Like, if I can't target it with, whatchamacallit, my Pallades, I usually go into this guy because he just boosts himself, and he's almost like an honest for himself, kind of, not really, but the 2 Omega, really good against, you know, those trap heavy stun decks, or just like, if my opponent draws bad, I can just go into this because they have to rely on their back row a lot, and yeah. Obviously, the 2 Pallades, I don't run 3 because I run Call, and a lot of times when he's going to die, he has 1 material left, and they'll like Dark Hole, and I can't touch anything else, so I'll just bounce him back. But, you know, that's a rare occasion. And finally, 15th card is M7. M7 is just stupid good over any Constellar. There's a reason he went to 1, guys, so it's pretty good. Side deck, 2 Swifty. Generic side card, like no duh, good against swarm decks, like, you know, Mermails or Dragons. But it's also good just to side out when I don't really want to keep in the Imperials. The 1 Maxi, I was siding 3, but unless I sided in with Swift Scarecrow, my opponent usually just pushes through the play because they know I don't have Gores or Swift. So it's more of just kind of with that. I might try to introduce the second one. I have the second one, but one-dimensional fissure, obvious reasons, and the 1 Macrocosmos. one soldiering because it's at 1. The tech card that's very generic is Mischief of the Yokai, because this works against any deck that relies on overlays or synchros, because you just put their monsters stars down, so they can't like overlay into their normal stuff, like against Battling Boxer, against Dragons, against Evil Swarm, Mirror Match, anything. Like, it's just like gets them away from their main cards and forces them to have to try to push through plays. 1 of Fairy Wind, counter side, and it's good against Fire Fist. The 3rd Imperial for Dragons. 2 Shadow Imprisoning, because I don't like Black Wings, nor do I like Evil Swarm. Dark Worlds as well, I mean, yeah, good point. That was a really good point. I don't really play any, because I don't think anyone at our locals plays Dark Worlds.
That play it, right?
Really?
Yeah.
I played one.
In, like, the last 4 weeks.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Goes in match. There's this guy who plays Heretic Elemental Dragons, and I take a dump all over his mouth when I go into this card. He rages over it. And then the 2 Dust Tornado, because this deck does not like back rows. So yeah, that's the deck. But I want to show you the combo I was talking about a little bit ago. It involves that guy and that guy. So basically, the reason I play the Call and the Sixth Sense is because Sixth Sense is good for both these cards, both the Sombre and the Call of the Haunted. If I mill or if I draw 6, it's just or a 5, or it's obviously good. But besides that, like, Sixth Sense is just, it's high risk, high reward kind of card, and I even have precautions for if I don't get the high reward. But this combo right here is insane, because you go into your Sombre, do your Sombre play, banish something, you know, and 90% of the time, you know, you search your cost or have some way to get in your cost, or it's just in your hand. You level 5, go into this, and when you call the Haunted, your when you overlay, it doesn't die, it just sits there because you're overlaying, and your monster doesn't technically leave. So then you detach, bounce the call back to hand, set the call, and then you have a Pleiades play, and you know you're gonna bounce one of their cards during their turn. When it's back to you, you're just gonna activate the call again, bring the Sombre, banish again, cost a hand, overlay, go into another Pleiades, and then you know you put an M7 over that, and like it's just a constant recycle of Sombre, and it's just stupid good. And plus, if you just have a dead Exceed that's a Constellar like Pleiades or Persepi or Omega, you're just going to go over it with M7 or any level 5 to go over it with Gaia Charger. But, yeah, that's the combo with Call the Haunted. It's pretty good. I recommend running as 1 of. I might test that as a 2 of. But, yeah, that's the deck. Sorry for the long video, guys. Appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. Team Shock the World.
Wait, we should talk about if it's a good budget deck or maybe someone with a medium budget.
Oh, I don't know. The version I run's kind of expensive because this guy's 15 a piece. Your costs are like 4 a piece. Traps and all. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could probably build a deck for about 200 or less, which is like mediocre, I guess, for Yu-Gi-Oh. But you know, I got a lot of high rarity stuff, so it's probably 300-400. But I don't know. If you've been in the game for a while, a lot of average players can probably build this deck. But like Evil Swarms, it's a toolbox deck. You just run through it, and then it can keep recycling itself with cards like Sombre, and it protects itself with cards like Omega and Pleiades. So yeah, thanks for watching the video, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, like I said, and see you next time.